Have you ever felt that sting? That moment when someone's words slice through you like a blade, sharp, sudden, and impossible to ignore? Maybe it was a cruel criticism from a colleague, a dismissive remark from a friend, or the cold silence of someone you trusted turning their back. You try to shrug it off, to act like it doesn't matter. But deep inside, it festers. It keeps you awake at night, replaying the moment, wondering why it hurts so much, why their words have so much power over you. What if I told you that you could build a mind so resilient, so unbreakable, that no one's negativity, no one's betrayal could ever touch you again? Not because you stop feeling, not because you hide behind a wall, but because you've become something greater, something untouchable. Friedrich Nietzsche, the philosopher who dared to stare into the chaos of existence, didn't just talk about surviving pain. He taught how to master it. He saw a world where most people are slaves to their fears, their need for approval, their desperation to fit in. But he also saw a path to freedom, a way to forge a mind so strong that criticism and negativity dissolve like dust in the wind. This video is for you, the one who's exhausted from carrying the weight of others' judgments, who's tired of feeling small every time someone lashes out, who's ready to stop being wounded and start being invincible. But this isn't a quick fix. It's a journey, and it's not for the faint of heart. Nietzsche's wisdom demands courage, demands you face truths that will shake you. Are you ready to stop letting the world's noise hurt you and become the master of your own soul? Let's dive into Nietzsche's philosophy and discover how to make sure no one can hurt you anymore. Let's start with a hard truth. The pain you feel when someone criticizes you, when they reject you, when they betray you. It's not just about what they did. It's about what's already inside you. That sting. It's not their words alone. It's the echo of old wounds, the whisper of insecurities you've buried, the part of you that still believes you're not enough. Nietzsche would look you in the eye and say, "You're giving them power. Every time you let their negativity sink in, every time you let their judgment define you, you're handing over your strength. You're letting them decide who you are. And that's where the real battle begins. Not out there, but in here, in the depths of your mind." Nietzsche called this the slave morality. A way of living where you're chained to others' opinions, where you measure your worth by their approval, where you react to their every jab like a puppet on strings. Most people live this way, scrambling to be liked, to be seen as good, to avoid the sting of rejection. They think if they're nice enough, smart enough, perfect enough, no one will hurt them. But Nietzsche saw through that lie. He knew that no amount of pleasing, no amount of hiding, can shield you from the world's chaos. The more you try to control how others see you, the more fragile you become. The more you chase their validation, the deeper their words cut. So, what's the alternative? Nietzsche's answer is radical. Stop running from pain. Stop fighting to be loved. Instead, embrace your fate, forge your own values, and build a mind so strong it doesn't just withstand negativity, it thrives on it. This is where Nietzsche's concept of amor fati comes in. Love of fate. It's not about pretending everything's fine or ignoring pain. It's about saying yes to life. All of it. The joy, the suffering, the criticism, the betrayal. Imagine this. Someone throws a harsh comment your way. It stings. Your instinct is to defend yourself, to prove them wrong, to make them take it back. But what if, instead, you paused? What if you looked at that pain and asked, "What is this teaching me? Why does this hurt?" That's amor fati. It's taking every wound, every slight, and turning it into a stepping stone. It's refusing to let negativity define you and choosing to let it refine you. This is the first secret to emotional resilience. Don't curse the storm. Learn to dance in it. If this is hitting home, if you're feeling that spark of recognition, hit the subscribe button and join the Saffron community. We're here to unlock the wisdom of your mind, to help you turn pain into power. Your support keeps this journey alive. Let's keep going deeper. Now, let's talk about the real enemy. Your need for approval. It's the invisible chain that keeps you vulnerable. Every time you soften your truth to avoid conflict. Every time you bite your tongue to keep the peace. Every time you shrink from criticism because you want to be liked. You're feeding what Nietzsche called the herd mentality. The herd is the crowd that demands you conform, that punishes you for standing out, that wants you small so they don't have to face their own weakness. And you've been conditioned to play along. Since you were a kid, you were taught to be agreeable, to say yes when you meant no, to smile when you were breaking inside. You thought that's what strength looks like. But Nietzsche would call it slavery. The herd mentality is why criticism hurts so much. It's not just the words. It's the fear that those words mean you're not enough, that you've failed to fit in, that you've lost the herd's approval. But here's the truth Nietzsche wants you to hear. The herd doesn't care about you. They care about keeping you in line. They'll praise you when you serve their needs and tear you down the moment you step out of place. And the more you try to please them, the more power you give them to hurt you. Nietzsche's solution? Break free. Stop living for their applause. Stop letting their negativity define your worth. This is where his vision of the Übermensch, the overman, comes in. A being who doesn't beg for validation, who creates their own values, who stands tall even when the world tries to pull them down. The Übermensch isn't some superhero. It's you, when you decide to stop being a slave to others' opinions. It's you when you realize your worth doesn't depend on their likes, their comments, their acceptance. It's you when you choose to live by your own truth, even if it makes you a target. Because here's the thing, the stronger your mind becomes, the more you'll disturb the herd. Your resilience, your refusal to be hurt, will make them uncomfortable. They'll call you cold, arrogant, selfish. They'll try to guilt you back into the fold. But Nietzsche would say, let them. Their criticism is just noise. It's the sound of their fear, not your failure. When you stop needing their approval, you become untouchable. But let's get real. This isn't easy. Building a mind that no one can hurt means facing the parts of you that are still fragile. Nietzsche's philosophy isn't about pretending you're invincible. It's about diving into the chaos of your soul and coming out stronger. Think about it. Why does that one comment, that one rejection, keep you up at night? It's not random. It's hitting something inside you, a doubt, a fear, a wound you've never healed. Nietzsche believed that true strength comes from confronting that chaos, from what he called the will to power, the inner fire that drives you to create, to grow, to overcome. The will to power isn't about dominating others. It's about dominating yourself, mastering your fears, turning every wound into fuel. So, why do you keep getting hurt? Because you're still fighting an invisible war. You're trying to control how others see you, to make them respect you, to prove you're enough. Every time you do that, you're giving them the weapon to wound you. Nietzsche would call this a waste of your will to power. You can't control their thoughts. You can't force them to value you. And the more you try, the more vulnerable you become. The secret to emotional resilience is letting go of that fight. Stop caring what they think. Not out of bitterness, but out of sovereignty. When you realize your worth is yours to define, their negativity becomes irrelevant. It's like shouting into a void. It echoes back to them, not you. Let's make this practical. How do you build this resilience step by step? Nietzsche's wisdom gives us 4 tools to forge a mind no one can hurt. First, embrace amor fati. Love your fate. When criticism comes, don't run. Face it. Ask, what's this revealing about me? How can it make me stronger? Write it down. Reflect. Turn the pain into insight. Second, kill the need for approval. Practice saying no without explaining. Stop justifying your choices. Let their judgment hang in the air unanswered. Their discomfort is their problem, not yours. Third, master your triggers. Notice what sets you off. A snide comment, a cold shoulder. Dig into why it hurts. Is it touching an old fear of rejection? A belief you're not enough? The more you understand your triggers, the less power they have. Fourth, use pain as a purpose. Every time you're hurt, don't wallow. Act. Channel that energy into something that builds you up. A project, a goal, a step toward your truth. Nietzsche believed suffering is the forge where great spirits are made. Step into the fire. We're going deeper now, and it's about to get intense. You've been hurt because you've been open, vulnerable, giving your energy to people who didn't deserve it. You've let their words, their actions, drain you because you thought that's what connection looks like. But Nietzsche saw connection differently. He believed true strength comes from selectivity, from choosing who gets your time, your attention, your soul. The herd will demand you stay open, stay available, stay soft. But the Übermensch says, I choose who's worthy. When you start guarding your energy, when you stop letting just anyone into your inner world, something shifts. You become a fortress, not because you're closed off, but because you're sacred. This is where Nietzsche's idea of the solitude of the strong comes in. Building a mind no one can hurt isn't just about mental tricks. It's about embracing a kind of sacred isolation. Not loneliness, but a deliberate retreat from the noise of the herd. You see, the stronger you become, the fewer people can walk beside you. Not because you're better, but because you're rare. Most people are comfortable in the herd, clinging to approval, fearing criticism, reacting to every slight. But you're choosing something different. You're choosing to create your own values, to live by your own truth. And that makes you a threat. Your resilience, your refusal to be wounded, exposes their fragility. They'll try to pull you back. They'll call you distant, cold, unfeeling. But Nietzsche would say, this is your power. The solitude of the strong is where you forge your unbreakable mind. Let's talk about the cost, because Nietzsche never sugarcoated the truth. This path is brutal. It means letting go of the old you, the one who craved acceptance, who softened their edges to keep the peace, who thought love meant never saying no. It means facing the discomfort of being misunderstood, of standing alone. You'll lose people who only loved the version of you that served them. You'll face silence from those who can't handle your fire. You might even doubt yourself, wonder if you're being too harsh, too selfish. That's the herd talking, trying to pull you back. But in that doubt, in that silence, you'll find clarity. You'll find the strength to say, I am enough. Not because they say so, but because I choose to be. Now let's talk about what's on the other side. When you embrace amor fati, when you kill the need for approval, when you master your triggers and turn pain into purpose, you don't just become resilient, you become a force. Nietzsche's will to power isn't about surviving negativity. It's about thriving in it. Imagine this. Someone criticizes you, and instead of flinching, you smile. Not because you're pretending, but because their words can't reach you. You've faced your shadows. You've forged your truth. And their negativity is just a breeze passing through. You walk into a room and without saying a word, people feel your presence. Not because you're loud, but because you're whole. This is what it means to be untouchable. Not untouched by pain, but untouched by its power to break you. But this transformation doesn't happen overnight. It's a daily choice. Every time you choose to face pain instead of flee it, every time you say no to the herd's demands, every time you stand in your truth despite their criticism, you're building that mind. You're becoming the Übermensch, not a myth, but a reality. You're becoming someone who doesn't just endure the world's chaos, but shapes it. And that's what scares people. Not your words, not your actions, but your existence. A mind so strong it doesn't bend, so clear it sees through their masks, so free it answers to no one. That's the power Nietzsche wants for you. Let's get darker for a moment, because Nietzsche never shied away from the shadows. The reason you're still getting hurt isn't just about you. It's about the world around you. The herd doesn't want you to be resilient. They want you fragile, reactive, easy to control. Every time you rise, they'll try to pull you down. Not with fists, but with guilt, with shame, with whispers that you're too much or not enough. Nietzsche called this the slave morality's revenge. The weak don't want to grow, so they try to make the strong feel small. You've felt it. The friend who mocks your ambitions. The family member who calls you selfish for setting boundaries. The colleague who twists your confidence into arrogance. They're not attacking you. They're attacking what you represent. The possibility of something more. This is why resilience isn't just about you. It's an act of defiance. Every time you choose to love your fate, every time you stand tall against their negativity, you're declaring war on the herd's mediocrity. You're saying, I will not be tamed. And that's why they'll fight you. They'll try to make you doubt your path, to make you think you're wrong for not fitting in. But Nietzsche would tell you, you're not wrong. You're necessary. Your strength, your resilience, is the spark that challenges their complacency. You're not just building a mind for yourself. You're showing the world what's possible. And that's both your burden and your gift. So how do you stay strong when the herd pushes back? Nietzsche's answer is simple but brutal. Become dangerous. Not in a violent way, but in a rare way. Be so clear in your truth, so firm in your values, that your mere presence unsettles them. Be so resilient that their criticism feels like a child's tantrum. Be so free that their attempts to control you fall apart. This is the will to power in action. Not dominating others, but dominating your own fears, your own doubts, your own need to be loved. When you do this, you become untouchable. Not because you're perfect, but because you're whole. This is the moment, right here, where you decide. Will you keep letting the world's negativity hurt you? Or will you forge a mind so strong it laughs at their noise? Nietzsche didn't write for the weak. He wrote for the creators, the ones who dare to love their fate, to rise above the herd, to turn pain into power. You're not watching this by accident. You're here because a part of you is ready. Ready to stop bleeding for others. Ready to stop shrinking to fit their mold. Ready to become untouchable. So I'm asking you right now, look inside and answer. Are you ready to let go of their power over you? Are you ready to love your fate, to stand alone if you must, to become the master of your own soul? I want you to do something bold. In the comments, write, I choose my strength. Not for me, not for Nietzsche, but for you. Let it be a declaration, a vow to yourself that no one's words, no one's negativity will ever hurt you again. Let's see how many of you are ready to claim this power, to join the Saffron movement and unlock the wisdom of your mind. And if this video shook you, if it lit a fire inside, don't stop here. The next video in our journey is waiting, and it's just as vital. Watch it, because you're not just watching, you're transforming. Nietzsche said, I am not upset that you lied to me. I'm upset that from now on I can't believe you. But he also said to love your life, every lie, every wound, every truth. That's your power. That's your resilience. No one can hurt you anymore when you've learned to wield your own fire. Keep going. You're not just surviving, you're becoming. See you in the next video.